it is pleasure to see you, and thank you so much for taking our time and connecting with us on Guru Mantra. And how are you doing in Hungary? And how's everything in Hungary today?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, Shalendra. Thank you very much for calling on your platform. I really appreciate your efforts and the cause for which you are doing this. And I think everything is fine as in general in Hungary is good. It's a rainy weather today. It's kind of cloudy, so sun goes and down, up and down is happening. So yeah,
Okay.
it's quite a good weekend overall. How's the things at your end?
Things are pretty well in Delhi, in India, I would rather say. It is again raining in Delhi and people are enjoying it. Though till a few days back there were a lot of restrictions about Corona that you can't step out from a house and you cannot go out and enjoy with the family or friends. But I think now people have the habit of that and people go out and enjoy it. So today is the best weather to enjoy and to create this weekend again, a memorable one, I think, after such a long time. So thank you so much, Raj, for taking out time and connecting with us. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, those who would like to know and would like to understand that what sort of background you're coming from, what are your achievements, and specifically that how you started your career, and then you moved to the other country. How this entire progression happened. So over to you, my friend, my brother, Raj. Could you please tell something about yourself to people?
Yeah, so I started my career around 2006 as a just passed out, BTech pass out, and
Okay.
I did my BTech in Kochi University of Science and Technologies, Kochi. And
Okay.
after that, I had a campus placement in at that time it was Asia's largest IT company. Now it's in world top 5 companies in IT basically. So that company itself has a good transition during that phase. And of course,
Okay.
like when I started my career with a zero programming
Hmm.
knowledge,
Hmm.
had no
Okay.
skill about the programming. But I think when we joined the company, and after that,
Hmm.
all this whatever the learnings which I had throughout from day one
Hmm.
till now is like in my career is really gonna it helped me. And during my journey, basically, I had started like programmer as a developer, and then after that, I
Hmm.
have also got opportunities for higher studies from the company itself. And
That's awesome.
I finished my MBA in finance, an executive MBA in finance. And
Okay.
after that, basically, I
Hmm.
started my role as a business analyst. Then started working with various investment banking firms or retail banking firms.
Okay.
So
That's
today I
awesome.
am working as so today I'm working with a US based investment banking firm. Is having I mean like main office is in Budapest,
Hmm.
Hungary, and I'm
Okay.
working as a senior business consultant there. So the journey was quite
That's awesome.
happening, quite a lot of learning, a lot of things happened. So of course, like it was
Okay.
quite interesting. Yeah.
There's one thing that when you told people that we'll have somebody who is into the management and somebody who is working with the largest investment bank across the globe. When you told this thing to the people had only one question. So I wouldn't say the people. In fact, the students, those are in college these days, we did a survey on this, and people asked one question. And one question was that today I'm doing BTech, and if tomorrow I want to settle down to Canada or to US or maybe to Hungary, for example, the place where you are, how this entire progression has to happen, and what sort of skills do I really need to ensure that I grow in my career, I learn new skills, I perform, and then I get something that which I really demand, or maybe I have a desire for. So
Yeah.
how
So
this
so
how this entire transition happened for you?
Yeah, I think you asked a very right question because I belong to a place which is very remote area in India, and
Okay.
I mean after that it was I had never dreamed of going to honestly speaking like I had never dreamed of going to any country abroad or any working anywhere else in the world. Even I had no dream to work in IT company in general, if you ask me. So yes, when I went for BTech, my whole focus was
Okay.
to complete my engineering degree and we'll
Okay.
see what job I can do. But the
Hmm.
transition basically started with few facts. I think which
Okay.
I learned a lot is the first thing, very and foremost thing is to go anywhere in country, anywhere in abroad.
Hmm.
I mean, I have been working in London before coming to Budapest, so I had
Hmm.
the exposures from some other countries as well. And the
Okay.
one important fact is basically to
Hmm.
improve your communication. Communication
Right.
skill is not like you speak like a Britishers or Americans. It's more about the communication, which is very well
Hmm.
understood by the other side. So anybody
Right.
who's talking to you can understand your English.
True.
Even you talk in Hindi, it should be very clear. You talk in any other language,
Right.
should be very clear, to the point, to exact
Absolutely.
something, to the content should be good. So there are various
Right.
various facts basically which I learned. And a second thing is,
Okay.
like, in your job, you have to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so when you are honest with yourself, you know your weakness, know your
Hmm.
strong areas, and wherever your
Hmm.
weaknesses you have to
Okay.
basically, work on those things. So I
Absolutely.
feel that
Absolutely.
as a new beginner, if you begin your career, most of the times I feel
Hmm.
that, if you do not get the right mentor or senior who are, who, if you try to find out, of
Hmm.
course, you have to find out your own
Right.
mentor,
Hmm.
your own guru, so-called, who can
Right.
actually train you, in different skills.
Which is
So, yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
these skills are pretty much
Hmm.
required. And as you know, like even today, somebody
Hmm.
has to go to US or Canada
True.
or Australia, for example. You have to
Hmm.
clear, for example,
Hmm.
IELTS, right? IELTS is something which is
True.
very basic demand nowadays. Even you have done
True.
BTech MBA, hardly matters for them. You have to clear IELTS. And IELTS is
Right.
nothing like you just came out of your school and something you go and write the exam, it will be clear. Not like that. They are pretty much in reading, writing, whatever you do in your job,
Hmm.
basically. Almost
Okay.
like those experiences helps a lot to do
Okay.
that. Apart from that, the good
True.
companies, basically, whichever multinational companies you go and work for,
Hmm.
they always look for these, basic parameters, like, how the
True.
person is able to describe himself,
Hmm.
how you are able to communicate clearly, how much you are able to learn
True.
new things. So that's another fact, basically, they normally look for. It's not, they don't look for this
Okay.
something expert, and I'm going to hire an expert for my work. No, forget this.
True.
Nobody will hire you as an expert. They know that their work is something going to be new for you
Hmm.
always. So it's for them.
Hmm.
What is important is like how quickly, how easily
Efficiently.
basically you can adapt yourself in that environment, in that
True.
culture, and then try to learn the stuff which they are willing to teach you. They are willing to get the work done from you. So of course, like
True.
that
True.
kind of combinations and skills basically going to help a lot of aspirants who will be basically interested for.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank you so much, Raj, for telling us and sharing these details, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of kids, those that are in college, they seek these sort of details that, today if I'm doing BTech, then what sort of skills do I really need to get into IT? What sort of skills I need to ensure that, I get a job in IT? Because a lot of times, this happens that, you do not get, when you do not get the campus placement, you are end up with nothing, but you end up getting into the BPOs or the tech support, where you speak with the customers and try and resolve their queries. There is also another area that we would definitely want to talk about, that how this entire transition can happen from a tech support guy to somebody who's doing maybe testing in IT, maybe doing some coding, or maybe something into support function again. But coming back to something which you said, that communication skills is definitely which is required, and it is, so communication skill doesn't mean that you should be talking to somebody uh, uh, like that you're a native speaker. And I say native, that means that somebody from these states, or maybe somebody from UK, or maybe somebody from some other country. But definitely, how efficiently and fluently, or maybe I would rather say, uh, in a crisp and concise way, you push your point across, and the other person is able to understand you.
Yes,
Is that
that's
is
true.
that is that something that you also gauge when you take interviews?
Yes, I mean, yeah, that's exactly. I have been kept a lot of interviews I have taken in my career so far. I mean, I
Okay.
have taken interviews to hire people in America, like US, on UK, the
Okay.
local employees, and I
Hmm.
really got a good opportunities to how basically. Sometimes as an interviewer, I also learned from the candidate, how the person is able to describe
Hmm.
better than what I was
Okay.
even looking
Okay.
for. Sometimes I have some different expectations and all. But yes, what we try to gauge is altogether like how much carefully you are listening me, what exactly the areas which I'm looking for, you are able to explain me, or you are able to give me the extract from your whole working experience together, whatever you did it in your career. I mean, in my experience, basically, I had also did campus recruitment. That the way I have been selected from campus. Similarly, I did my campus recruitment. A lot of companies. I mean, in basically North India, Dehradun, UP, and then like Rajasthan, Delhi, Haryana. There are a lot of places I did basically campus recruitment for my company. And yes,
awesome.
what I used to normally groom and talk to the candidate very friendly. Like I knew that they are sometimes nervous and what they are. Sometimes
Absolutely.
they are the best. They have the best skills. They know what they are. I mean, basically, what we are looking for, they have it. But sometimes it's how you articulate yourself, how you present yourself.
Absolutely.
And this
Absolutely.
doesn't this yeah. So these things are not like you have to build somebody build basically in built on you. Basically, this is something comes naturally from yourself. You have to be very honest with yourself, as I told earlier, and then you have to be very cool and calm and try to listen the other side people, other side person who is talking.
Absolutely.
Try to listen. Don't get nervous. Just try to listen them. And many times I see many guys who you ask me one questions about the BTech, what kind of skill set they require to go in the IT and all. So one important thing I will tell you that BTech is, if everybody is doing BTech, is like they have different kind of streams like electronics and communications, computer science, IT, mechanical. There are various streams there. Of course, when if
Absolutely.
somebody take the admission in the college, they have some dreams, some plans. Like, okay, if I complete my mechanical engineering, I'm gonna work in so and so company. If I complete my electronics engineering, I'm gonna work in so and so company. Okay, but the
Absolutely.
fact is like when their campus selection happens, or they have gone for any interviews and they want to look for any
Okay.
IT specific companies. Since
Okay.
we are talking about 21st century now, and there are a lot of new technologies, yeah, because when I started, it was not cloud era. So now we have cloud, we have
Right.
artificial intelligence,
With a cloud
we have
campus
machine
now. True.
learning. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of things have been changed. So what I will suggest to all those the aspirants or candidates who are actually studying or completed their BTech or going to complete their BTech in upcoming year, or planning to appear in any campus interviews or off campus, my suggestion would be basically for them to try to learn these new skills, new technologies. Don't
Okay.
get mastery in it. Nobody looking for master. Nobody looking for the experts. If we look for
True.
the expert, it means we will not go to college campus. We will go to the
Absolutely.
the lateral hiring where we have to hire people, pay more and get it. But
True.
what we are looking
True.
for, the person, the students who can actually easily able to learn, demonstrate themselves, whatever they have learned during their academics or during their extracurricular activities or during their kind of like the any kind of new technologies which they try to learn either through the web-based learning sessions or your classroom, whatever you take it. Basically, you
Okay.
should be able to demonstrate whatever you have learned, and you should be able to explain us.
Awesome.
If you can do that much,
Absolutely.
it means we are sure that when we hire you, when you come to our company, then that you will be learning very quickly and you can actually do your work yourself. That's what everybody looks for in
Absolutely.
the job. As long as you are independently able to do your job, everybody used to be
Uh-huh.
happy, and you have a longer growth in your career accordingly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Arish. I think this is the best and the most descriptive response to the college students, that people those looking for suggestions, that how should I prepare myself for a better tomorrow. So
Yep.
if we have any college student who's watching this live, then please do comment on this. And in case if you have any question that maybe about the what sort of new technologies we have, and what sort of new technology is in demand, how should you prepare yourself for the better tomorrow, and please do ask a question, comment in the comment section, ask a question, because this is the golden opportunity for each one of you to clear your doubts. And I think nothing is better than when we have the expert online. And there's something that we always say in the corporate world. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. So so when we have the expert, so guys, it's opportunity for you to ask the question. Please ask questions, and I'm sure that you will have the amazing answers on this. So Thank you so much, Raj, for sharing there as well. So there's something. So I'm coming back to the first point, which is said that you are from a remote location in India. Then you did BTech, and then today you are in Hungary. You have traveled to London. You spent a couple of years in London. Then I think from last 4 years you are in Hungary.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
So
So
I'm sure. I mean, this is a true inspiration for a lot of people, those who believe that if I'm not from the metropolitan city, if I'm not from the tier one city, then I do not have the opportunity to grow in my career. I don't have the opportunity for the career progression. If you could please highlight that as well, that how this entire thing happened, that you went to the college and then you got the campus placement, and then you said that you joined uh, the IT company, which is the biggest company in India. I'm sure that people would love to know that company's name as well. If you could please share this entire transition as well,
yeah,
because there are a lot of
so
people that those are. I'm sorry to interrupt you on this, Raj, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people those are not from tier one cities, or maybe kids those are maybe from Patna, or maybe from MP, or maybe from some other locations. Those who definitely want to grow in their career. Who doesn't want to grow in their career? Who doesn't want to earn? But I think the right direction is something which is required, and that's why we have you.
yeah, so I think I definitely one thing I will admit that with the time, a lot of things, a lot of development, a lot of
Hmm.
improvements happens everywhere now in
Okay.
across India, any city if you go now. So we have like internet connections, and now people are able to, like for
Hmm.
example, you're doing your live show, and anywhere people sitting in country can now watch you or on us, like
Absolutely.
together talking. So a lot of technologies has improved from the time when I started my journey, and then now where we are. But
Okay.
one thing I will tell you that, of course, like you have to have your eagerness in terms of, like, of course, like when I was doing my schooling, I had no plan to, okay, I'm going to work in IT company or
Hmm.
I'm going to do something like that. But what I had
So
only
that
one
that
eagerness
happened
is
just
like
like that.
anything. Yeah. So
Hmm.
anything comes happen my way. Anything is coming in my way, or anything which
Hmm.
I think I should learn, I should go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, I have given my attention to that. I have basically focused on those things. One important thing which I did is, like, I have chosen my friend circle. Like, when you start your schooling or
Hmm.
go for your +2 or then engineering.
Hmm.
So what kind of friends you are making, that's very important. You have
Okay.
to have it. You have to understand that. It is very important because sometimes you have a good friend circle, and then
Hmm.
basically they themselves become kind of competitions to each other. So
True.
basically,
True.
then have that kind of competitive environment basically helps you to improve. The conversation,
Absolutely.
the topics, the agenda, the debates which you do.
Hmm.
What kind of healthy discussions you are doing. Like
True.
we were being in hostel when I
Hmm.
went to Kerala for Kochi, which is like non-Hindi speaking state, and now I have to start talking English. But the good part was, like, yes, I knew English. I had my basic English skills already when I was in Bihar. I was originally belong to Bihar. So basically,
Okay.
altogether, what happened that I had my skills, but I was never able
Okay.
to explore myself for talking those languages. But I got the opportunities to talk in English. Then you have
Okay.
you got a lot of day-to-day basically activities, whatever you do in your regular lives. Basically, when you
Right.
try to adopt those things and improve your communication in those things, again,
Hmm.
new things coming in the market, new skills, new language, or anything which basically your friend circle or anybody having a good communication.
Hmm.
Because nowadays, as I said
True.
earlier, so communication is not difficult now. Information is very much easily
Absolutely.
available for anyone. So you can find out,
Right.
go to Google, get a lot of information is going to be available. You have to be
True.
very proactive to the point to learn those things which is basically in demand, which is more
Absolutely.
required, for the industry. A lot of companies
Right.
are focusing on those areas, and you might have heard about
Okay.
this something called national eligibility test. Now the companies are doing in our
Right.
country. So
Right.
basically,
Absolutely.
this is something. Why are they doing that? Because just to make sure everybody from each corner,
Hmm.
whichever engineering college you are studying, maybe
Okay.
tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, whatever
Hmm.
categories it is, any good
Hmm.
students, any good skilled people who are actually in
Hmm.
some corner left out because couldn't go for the campus selection, but you have
Right.
opportunities to come and go write the test. and then get selected. But yes, you have to be very proactive. You have to be very, to the point what exactly they are looking for, and then accordingly you should be preparing for them so that you should not miss those opportunities.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, this is very well said. That now we have the test, which is basis the government that it has been set up, and companies now take that national eligibility test to ensure that whatever people we hire, or whatever people that get into the organization, they are skilled enough and they have the right sort of information which is required in the organization. I think that is a tremendous step taken by the organizations. And on this, there's this one more thing that I'm definitely going to check on this. That people those who do not get the campus placement, I think this is one of the biggest problems. This is one of the biggest problems we have in India. I would like to share a story on this. That this is for one of my brothers. Uh, he did his BTech, and then that he did not get the campus placement. But then the point was that he wanted to get into the IT companies. But then how should I get into how should I get into the IT companies when I do not have the opportunity? So that's where he started applying for non-campus hirings. And when this happened, he applied for a company. I would not like to take a name on this, but one of the pioneers in software development, and one of the best organizations, at least in India, to work with. So he went for the interview here, and when he went there, there were 3,000 people, 3,000 people in queue for the interviews for non-campus hiring. I think this is one of the biggest problem kids face these days in Indian colleges, maybe our post colleges. So what is your suggestion for that, Raj? That if you do not get the campus placement, you have only, I think, two opportunities. This is again basis on either you should be in queue with 3,000 people, or you should do something else. Maybe you should have the right mentors or maybe references to get into the companies. So what is your suggestion?
So this kind of situation I have seen for a few candidates in past, and a few of my own relatives or my friends or their families or somewhere I have seen these cases. And my suggestion in fact, I have given them as well, and some of them got succeeded in that. So I can now very well say that this is something going to work. One thing is that if you have missed your opportunities in the campus selections, and after that, when off campus become too difficult, then one thing you should do is like try to go to learn some skill, learn some kind of technologies, which is basically very well in demand within the market. And there are a lot of institutes. I basically spent long time in Gurgaon in my career. Before that, I have worked in Chennai, but yeah, Gurgaon something is my favorite location in general. So I spent long time there, and there are a lot of institutes which I know they have been basically training people. And what they do, that basically, suppose big data or somebody having now cloud computing or anything artificial intelligence or Angular. There are a lot of new technologies which is available. So idea is basically you go and get the training on those technologies. Have some good connects with some HR recruitment agencies who are basically supporting or facilitating those recruitment altogether. So what you have to showcase that once you go for a training, try to do some small project, mini project basically there, and something which you can demo, which you can basically showcase to those references, those HR, those recruiting agencies, those employees, like employee like me. If suppose if you have something to demonstrate, and then we can basically endorse you. So the idea is like everybody, whoever basically demonstrate will be endorsed, your endorsement, and eventually what happens that get noticed to the company, and then of course within a company, when we find out such kind of recommendations or endorsement or some kind such a nice mini project or demo done by the students with whom we really get impressed, and basically we ask them to come directly for the interview in the company, and then we go for their own regular selection process. So he need not to stand in a queue and then go to the the big round of cycles to complete the interviews and get selected. So no need to depend on luck. I will say, like, do your work, hard work, whatever time, because time is very precious. So my message basically here, only thing I want to quote for anyone is like, time is very precious. Your time is very precious. You can't buy the time. You can buy everything. You can't buy the time. So whatever time you are actually having after your campus, after your completion of BTech, and you couldn't get selected in a company, then don't waste your time just going here and there and without putting any effort on yourself. Put whatever time you are having. Please invest your effort, everything for yourself. Eventually, you will be sold out. You will be trying to sell yourself in the outside market. So those opportunities, you should use it for learning whatever you can learn in that period.
That's great. That's great and very well said, Rajan. And definitely that's like we have the endorsement with you now. I think the idea was nice that you liked it, and now we have the endorsement. Now we have the online class, sharing your knowledge with the kids, those who actually need help, those who need guidance, and the right direction to start their career. So as Raju specifically mentioned that when you do not get the campus placement, it is very important for you. In fact, vital for you to connect with the recruitment agencies and the companies, those who can help you get you the job and basis your certifications. So this is exactly that we are we would have something on the similar ground maybe next year the same time, that we want to get into the colleges. We want to support the kids, those are not able to get the jobs, especially kids those are from the tier 2 or tier 3 cities, and especially kids those are from the C and the D grade colleges, because C and the D grade colleges, they do not have the good connect with the organization. They do not have a great opportunity for the campus placements as well. So this is something that we have a vision within S&M HR services, that we're going to get into the colleges and support the new generation as much as we can. Because when I started my career, so there was one thing that which I think, which I could not find, could not get. That's my mentor. But I'm lucky that I had people like you and other people, those who actually supported me, people those who shared the right vision that this is what we need to do, and that is how we can grow in progression. So again, I'm also thankful for all my mentors, whatever limited mentors I had in my career. So thank you to them as well. So this is something that we're gonna do for the kids. So Raj, thank you so much for sharing that how kids can do what they can do when they do not have the campus placements. So if we have any college student who's watching us live, or maybe you will maybe watch this video maybe a little later, so please do comment, do ask your question, and we'll ensure that we speak with Raj and get you your answers. So this Raj, there's another thing that we would like to ask you, that's about the skills that when we actually look for the interview sessions. One that you have specifically mentioned, that one should have good communication skills. और कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स का मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको बहुत ही अच्छी इंग्लिश बोलनी आनी चाहिए, या आपको इंग्लिश आनी चाहिए जैसा कोई अमेरिकन बोलता है या कोई ब्रिटिशर बोलता है, ऐसा नहीं. और अगर आप हिंदी में भी बात कर रहे हैं तो हिंदी में आप अपना पॉइंट कितने अच्छे तरीके से और कितने शॉर्ट एंड क्रिस्प तरीके से आप अपना पॉइंट एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. इसके अलावा कोई और चीज जो राज आप एडवाइस सजेस्ट करना चाहें स्टूडेंट्स को, ताकि वो अपने कैंपस प्लेसमेंट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर पाए. क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि कई कॉलेजेस में C2C के लिए, कैंपस टू कॉर्पोरेट के लिए ट्रेनिंग्स होती हैं, और जो हम जहाँ पे हम स्पेसिफिकली बात कर रहे हैं C and D ग्रेड कॉलेजेस की, वहाँ पर शायद कैंपस टू कॉर्पोरेट की कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं होती, शायद वहाँ पर कोई ट्रेनर भी नहीं आता उनको ट्रेनिंग के लिए. तो कोई स्पेसिफिक सजेशन यहाँ पर that you would like to give to people to ensure that they have the right suggestion and they are able to train themselves through the online whatever information they are able to get.
So see, apart from communication, what is important for the candidate is basically to whatever academics they are actually having in the college. So if you ask me honestly, the colleges can be different categories, but in terms of the syllabus, basically, if you try to compare, it is not that different. So in terms of total curriculum or required subjects to learn is not different in different colleges, be it tier 1 college or tier 2 or tier 3, whichever college you call it. So the one important thing here is basically what we normally check after communication is your academics knowledge. So, and this is very important, because somebody always ignore it, and they get under impression that like an IT company is hiring someone, completed their BTech, so I should be just looking for IT skill. No, you are wrong. So you should be, you can be from any department. So somebody has completed their BTech in electronics and communications, or electrical, or engineering, or mechanical, or computer science. So it's not like we are looking for a core programmer who can be hired immediately and then put in the work. Not like that. So we basically look for the people, those people from any college you are. We don't look at the category of the college. I'm ignoring that part, but you have to be very much proficient in your subject, whichever subject you choose as your favorite. So when the interviewer is asking what is your favorite subject, and you say that, okay, signals and system, or informatica, or anything automata, or there are so many subjects, like somebody's talking. So specifically any subject which you choose, you have to be very careful. You should know that when you are saying that subject is my favorite, then any kind of questions interviewer can ask. So you should not underestimate the interviewer. Yeah, and the thing is that you should not underestimate the interviewer, thinking, company, this guy is coming from, let's say, XYG, like Infosys, Capgemini, any company you call it, IT companies, basically. And then you say, oh, this guy is coming from IT companies. So in this case, he will ask only IT questions. Let me get prepared only IT questions. And then suddenly I'm asking you some questions with your subject, which you didn't even expect it. Then you get trapped. So you get trapped, because I found that, like, you are actually, you're preparing just to impress myself in this, just to get the IT skills, but it was not the reality. Reality is something which we normally look for your knowledge, the time which you spend. Again, I said earlier, so time which you have spent in your last 4 years in your career. I'm trying to find out that how much you learned from that. So if you have learned something in that time, of course, then you can come to our company and you can learn and do yourself, all the things. So your academics, your subject, any favorite subject which you choose, you should be very well proficient. You should be very well prepared for those kind of questions. And you have to be very upfront. One more quick suggestion which I can make it, like, you should be very upfront. So if you don't know answer, or anything which is not very clear, or you were having some kind of dilemma, or not sure about the answer which you want to give, you have to be very honest. Don't try to fudge those kind of answers. Yeah. So otherwise, that's something also become very irritating when, as an interviewer, we check and ask, and then somebody trying to put some bluff, kind of furthering some answers, which is not a good idea. So those things basically set the bad impression, and at the end you will be rejected. So you should be taking care of those things.
True. So people, those are watching this, especially people those are looking for job in IT, or in the kids those are doing BTech. So guys, this is for you. You should know what you need to prepare. It's not like that. You should be only considered about the programming language. You should do the researches on that, and you should prepare yourself only on that during your interview or before your interview. But you should also know. You should also remember what you have learned in last 4 years, because there's a possibility, a strong possibility, you have interviewer like Raj, and he'll ask you these kind of questions that, please tell me something that you have learned in last 4 years. And that's where I think that's a clean goal for a lot of kids. I think that's also one of the reasons, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's also one of the reasons that a lot of kids do not get the campus placement, because a lot of kids, they prepare themselves for the information technology only, rather that they end up forgetting about their own subjects they studied in the last 4 years. That's a very well that's a very well said statement, Raj. Thank you so much for that. There's one more thing, another thing that I would like to ask you. So we know that in India that going to abroad and settling down in other country is considered an achievement. It's considered an achievement in a lot of a lot of states and cities in India. But if we ignore that, if you, I'm sure that you do not consider that as an achievement though, because that you are such a great personality. You're so humble, and I'm sure that people who are humble, people who are always ready to learn and enhance their skills. I think sky is the limit. So for people like you, moving to other countries and settling down in the countries is I think is not that huge task. But definitely, I would like to know, and in fact, people would like to know what is your achievement if it, even if we consider this as an achievement that you are in that you are in abroad from last, I don't know, I think from last 7 8 years. Correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
More than 8 years now
that's
outside India.
more
Yeah.
than 8 years. Definitely, that is one achievement. But other than this, Raj, what are your achievements throughout your career?
Yeah. So
8 years is a long time.
as you said, yeah, as you said earlier, honestly speaking, I had
Mhm.
no dream or goal for going
Yeah.
outside India or working in a kind of US based or multinational companies. But for me, my achievement was the one thing which I always I want to emphasize, and I think this will be something vision for many of the aspirants or many people who are
Okay.
starting their career or might be in between their career now. So the
Okay.
one thing which I basically had an achievement is I am able to drive the work. I'm able to drive the business. I'm able to basically drive the project in my way. In my way, when I say it's not like, okay, I have something special in my side, inside me, and then I want to do in this way. No, it's more about like, having a team
Best for
together or
business. Yeah.
having a plans, having strategies, and decision making things and discussions. A lot of things basically, which I feel satisfied, from inside my heart when something happens, some product which we are developing, and that goes in my way, which like my baby, I'm trying to basically do whatever I can do. So this kind of administration, basically, or admin role, or the kind of the responsibilities which I got in my
Leadership
career,
role. Yeah.
yeah, leadership role, or with the time, the ownership which I have received, where I have to basically own my work and then drive it, deliver it. I think this is
Okay.
something definitely I find is a big achievement, because at the end, this is what I was looking for. And of course,
That's
like
awesome.
though there are a lot of scope to learn and then grow further. There are a lot of things, something which I will be looking forward. But I think that this stage, I have set my stage where I think, I know how a product can be, built from scratch. How can we
Okay.
deliver end to end deliveries of the products? Basically, I can manage, I can own it. I can, basically have a team to coordinate and collaborate the work. So this thing, something which I was basically looking for. And I think that something has helped me in my journey, being in India, in different cities, different states, and then coming to the abroad in different countries, and now currently in Hungary. So these things definitely help me while switching the location, switching my roles, and all together, like, that
Okay.
built me a kind of a person who basically overall manage the entire spectrum of
That's
the,
awesome.
life cycle, IT life cycle, you can call it basically. So yeah, so that's something I call this as an achievement for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we wish you luck, Raj. I'm pretty sure that you will further grow in your career. And we have all, so you have all our wishes. I'm sure that we will definitely come. The kind of skill sets you have, the kind of leadership skills you have, the way you support people. I think that is tremendous. That is tremendous, and that's I think that's outstanding. I would honestly. Uh, Siraj, on this, that now a lot of there are a lot of new technologies. Those are available now. Uh, what sort of technologies you recommend the new kids to look forward for? Now that when you look at Corona, due to Corona, that now cloud computing has become so popular across all the industries. It was only in IT, I think, till few months back, but Corona has impacted the entire world. The entire world is now looking for the cloud computing. I think that's one. Second is artificial intelligence. That is another segment that which is popular and in demand. I think then post these that we also have something into the data thing that when we look at people as data scientists, and we in the company especially look for people those who have certifications in Scrum. and Hadoop, Agile, these sort of certifications. So any other thing that you recommend that people should look forward for? Any other certification that should that they should get a
Yeah. So basically, in there are three categories. We call it in IT segment. Whoever works in IT, the one category we call it like domain knowledge. So your business domain knowledge in terms of somebody wants to explore their career in the banking and financial sector, or somebody wants to explore their career in healthcare. Somebody wants to explore their career in the manufacturing. So there are different kind of domains like. We have it. So we call it domain. So there are a lot of certifications basically we have in domain as well. So when you know there is a rush or there is a competition, when somebody there is a cloud computing in demand, so everybody is running towards the cloud computing and trying to learn that. But one thing you forget that, like, yeah, so how you're gonna differentiate yourself from others? So in that regard, of course, the cloud computing is something I understand is in demand, but at the same time, somebody having a cloud computing knowledge, and at the same time, somebody has knowledge about the manufacturing industries, how that works, what kind of technologies, what kind of the business processes basically they have. And these two combinations together, then you make yourself unique in that area. So for you, the manufacturing industry will be welcoming because they will be quickly going and hire you, because otherwise just looking for cloud computing, everyone is cloud computing. So at the end, they want to differentiate. So my suggestion will
absolutely,
be like
absolutely.
domain is one area which you should also start learning from the early stage.
Okay.
There was a day like 10, 15 years ago when people were learning domain within the company, but I now demand is too high. So in that, our competition is also very tough. So I will say like try to learn the domain categories. Technologies already you mentioned, so I don't want to repeat those technologies things because I think you are right, because absolutely right. Whatever technology you say, it is exactly in demand now. And I think as I said, the informations are available handy, so you can always figure out. But another important thing is the process. So process, something we call it the documentation. So technical writing, for example, as in skill, or how you write. It's like not like you write any document. Your skills will be very much important. How do you try to
Absolutely,
phrase the words, phrase the sentences?
absolutely.
Then call it quality. So like somebody learns the quality stuff, like something is very much hot in demand is Six Sigma. So something which if you get opportunities to do those kind of projects or certifications during your academic, or somebody already working in any organizations, try to grab in those kind of skills
True,
basically,
true.
which can help you. So processing part is also very important. So domain, technologies, and process. So these three categories are basically the key pillars in IT industry. Whichever area you go for, these three combinations, if anybody is having, you are actually unique, and you will have higher chances of getting selected or getting promoted or wherever you want to grow in your career. This is going to help you a lot. So this will be my mantra for those candidates or aspirants.
So thank you so much, Raj. You have shared the Guru Mantra pretty early, but I'm pretty sure people who will watch this, this is definitely a mantra for them to get a better job, to get promoted, to have the right career progression, the right career progression in their job. Because I've seen a lot of people that they spent 5 years, 6 years, maybe even for 10 years, they're still on the same position. Yeah, they're still that they're still on the same salary. And then what is the gray area? Why they have not been able to get promoted? Why the salary is still the same? Maybe they're not enhancing their skills. Maybe they're not working on their skill set. Like I've recently done Lean Six Sigma with that which you were referring to ensure that I enhance my skills. So I ensure that I get the best salary. Whatever best salary is for me. This is me. So, like I've done it as so. This is again my recommendation as well. And as Raja also has advised that we should always look for the skills enhancement to ensure you become unique. When you become unique, you always have the maximum opportunities and the probability that you get the best out of the organizations. Thank you so much, Raja, on this. One last question I have for you, Will. Since you have been working in this industry from last 15 years. Could you please name few organizations which you think are the best organizations for the freshers to learn these skills? Because Something which I remember that when I was working with an IT organization where we had a specific skill set that they hired graduates, then they train people on a specific skill set, and that's it. And then they start processing, then they start doing their job. But as the environment is so dynamic, organizations are looking for people who already have something or the other in their resume or something or the other in their plate already sell. So what are those organizations that you would like to recommend that let's say that I'm a BTech graduate and today I'm looking for the right organization for me. So could you please name for your organization? This is your experience in last 15 years.
So organizations basically, I mean, to start your career in general, there are a lot of good companies in India who gives the opportunities and goes to the campus selection itself. I mean, though we have like Accenture, TCS, these companies like Infosys. These are companies which basically are cognizant. So these are the companies which are big companies or who are actually hiring people and gives a lot of platforms for your learnings or trainings, and then give you the opportunities to work in a project. But one more thing I want to say that, I mean, since this is 21st century, and you should not be running towards the top company on a day one itself. I will say make your own, skills and knowledges, or I mean, kind of the talents which you can build yourself, so that the companies, the big companies, when they look forward towards you, they pay you a good salary and then hire you. So today I see a lot of, I mean, small medium companies which are basically, developing a lot of mobile applications or web applications. As you sometime back you said it, like during the COVID-19, a lot of new companies also have come up. I mean, it has definitely had side effect of many big companies, but a lot of new companies has grown suddenly. All of a sudden, you notice that, which is definitely a kind of, yeah, it's a blessing. So as a beginner in the career, what is important for anyone is not the big brand. The more
Okay.
important is for you to the learning, the skills which you learn, knowledges which you gain, basically. Once you have that, so that big brand will also always come to your way and then hire you and pay whatever you wish. So my suggestion would be, of course, when you get the campus selections or you get the opportunity, you should not deny. You should go for those opportunities. But if
Okay.
somebody who couldn't get placed in those big companies, you should not be disappointed, because I have
Okay.
my own friend in my college. I don't want to name it here, but yeah, what I will say, only one thing is, with all of us has been placed in a big companies, in the day one itself from the college, but he was not. He couldn't get placed. But after all, what happened that today he is working in Apple. So you can think
That's
about that.
nice.
So yeah, so this is something. Nothing is impossible. So basically, you have to work hard on yourself, try to groom
Okay.
yourself, learn the skills whichever you
Definitely.
can learn. Yeah,
Definitely.
and start your career from there. So those will be the key things from my end.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raj. Just one last request I have. This request has been asked a lot of time. A lot of people have requested this since we collaborate with the working professionals across the industries, especially in IT. Now this request has come a lot of time. This request is, so since you collaborate, could you please ask these professionals to refer us in their organizations? Because I think in IT referral plays a very important.
Yes, so referral definitely is important, and referral is just, I just say, so referral has two things. One is the person who is referring you should know about you, your
Okay.
skills, your knowledges, and
Okay.
then that person can always refer, and then that referral basically means that the person is endorsing you for that particular role, that particular
Okay.
opportunities which you have in the company. So of course, like it will be really good if that something is somebody looking forward to have it. It will be really good opportunities for us. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raj. On this note, I must say that thank you so much for taking your time again. And Lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your skills, and your entire journey, especially the achievements and how this entire career profession happened, and the suggestions to the new generation, Generation Z. Definitely, they will appreciate this. So, in this note, Raj, thank you so much for joining with us on Guru Mantra. So, in case you guys you have any question for me, I would love to answer. Or in case we can check if we have any question from anybody here. So currently we do not have any question, but definitely I would like to say thank you to Disha Naresh Kaur, Keshav Sharma, Sudarshan Dev, Varun Bajaj, Madhu Sharma, Dipshika Keshav Sharma, and everyone, those who have joined us live today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us live. And Raj, thank you so much for taking out time, and I wish you a great
Thank
career
you.
ahead. Be
Thank
the
you very
great
much,
leader that you
Shalendra.
are. Most welcome,
Thank
Raj.
you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank
Have
you
a
very much, Shalendra.
great
For
day
I
ahead.
think I will just say that keep doing the good thing. I think you have a lot of double couch to arrange this kind of sessions and conversations with professionals in the industries, and I really appreciate your hard work and do keep you all. I mean, keep the good work. I'll say you all the best for your journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Raj.